Where was I at? Oh yeah, I quite literally just started on this act, so nothing too big on that. Did I go down a little bit on the magic vine? Like I did. Did lose 10%. Oh my god, Halo content! Yeah, because I don't stream very often. How you doing, Sunny? My god, I feel fat at the moment. I don't know if I got too much salt and I blow up, or if it's just because I need to go and do some more exercise. Whoop. Whip. Oh, normal attack, the best attack. You never stream, like never. Yeah, no. I actually pretty much stream. I often stream as much as I actually work. It's kind of a thing I shouldn't talk about. Yep. Oh, I'm not even streaming right now? Wow. I didn't even realize that. Or are you actually saying something truthfully? Could be on my stream. Nah, it's fine. Everything is okay. Everything is kind of mediocre. But that's okay. That's awesome. Why are you saying uptime? I literally just started right now. I literally just did that. Oh man, Senny, you know that Metal Rex map I'm doing? Oh, second again. The challenge map I'm doing. I was like getting really I was really confused the last. Wait, that's not that. That's not that. I was getting very confused the last section, like where I needed to go and everything. And so I like looked up some hints, and it turns out like one there was two things, but like one really important thing was that there was a hidden quest guard hidden behind a a one-way fucking portal, so you had to stack up a character on that portal to even be able to pass through the fucking hidden passageway. Just fuck me, man.
There's nothing the right portion.
And it's really not easy to see. I mean, you can't see it. It's hidden. Don't remind me, did you actually ever play Wayfarer, Senny? Because I remember telling you to play it before I was going on vacation, so you might have done it in that passage. Wayfarer is pretty big, but you probably do it, huh? Oh, did you do Wayfarer? It's a fun map. That was piss easy. I mean, given that you played other maps like it, it's definitely not that hard. There's some battles that were tough, but a lot of them was just like, because that's the thing that can be a problem like sometimes in some matches. More often than nothing, it's like a matter of, can I resurrect my units? Because once you get to that moment of being able to resurrect, and especially clone resurrect, that a map can just become very, very easy. Especially also if units don't receive proper reinforcements, then you just build up a massive army and just fucking wreck everything. I mean, there was some challenging things on that map, but like sometimes I have like people coming into my stream when I'm doing like these maps and saying like, oh, is it like Wayfarer? And I'm like, Wayfarer, while it does have its, oh, my mercenary died, rip. while Warfare does have its challenges, it's not actually that difficult compared to some maps I play, especially something like The Way Home. Like, just fucked me that map.
Citizen.
The battle with Sandro. That's a fun battle. And also just the last battle on that map is just fucking ridiculous. And it requires some serious RNG manipulation. If you get unlucky rolls, then you just get fucked. It's really not one that you can just simply. You can't just skillfully win that one. If you're unlucky, you die. Like there's no way to kind of counter that. This fairy dragon is just 2 RNG. But did you actually find Kilgore without any help? I did.
I am overburdened.
I didn't know where to fuck to find him, and there was no one there to tell me where he was. So I kind of had to find him. That was probably some of the biggest challenges I had on that map. Was just figuring out some of the fucking hidden stuff on the map. Just weird hidden quest guards and tents that were not in plain sight. Well, sort of, but like blending in the environment. Weird spots to water walk to. Yeah. Son of a bitch. He was in prison? Yeah, I know he's in the prison. But like the prison is not in plain sight. Like I'd found the area he was in, and cleared it, but I didn't know he was in there. I didn't fucking see him. But maybe it's because I didn't use the feature on the map, you know. I actually don't know if prisons are highlighted on the map like that. You've seen stuff hidden more than that? I don't know. I don't know which maps you're referring to. We may not have played the same maps. But he did talk about Lord of the Rings being also a crazy map. I think the Jedi story also had some of the worst things hidden. Like just fucking retardedly hidden. Nah, I think I just luckily tied whistling when I put from the tunnel. That was impossible. I don't know. I have no idea as to that. I just remember I couldn't find him. Kilgore the Summerlick. All the rings a little easier than with I say, but it's fun. Okay. I remember there was a lot of people just telling me constantly on Wayfair that I should just use like force field, and I mean I know how to use force field, but again there was also a lot of battles that really didn't require it. I generally don't really care much for like the overuse of force field. That's why I like when you actually have some of the more intelligent maps creator who knows like some of the worst things you can take advantage of. And fuck me, and like puts a count on that. Because you basically just need the spell, like master spell and GG force field.
I need mana.
Yeah, I mean, you really need to use the force field a lot. There's also a lot of battles where I kind of found my own way around them. Hey, Lemoy. Amazon again? Is this hardcore as well? Yeah. What do you mean by an Amazon again? Are you just referring to the fact that you maybe watch my drunk stream? Because that was the thing. There was indeed a thing. These archers down here are a little bit terrifying. They hurt quite a bit. Whip, or is it just me? No, nothing whipped. Hey, thank you for the host, Becca. Feeling a little bit tired today, but I also had to get up really early in the morning. Whip. Whip Ashel. Hasim didn't die nearly as much as Ashel. That's unfortunate. Gotta bring Hasim back. Gotta make Hasim great again. I watched the episode yesterday.
Greetings.
That's pretty decent. Probably still shouldn't spoil it. That's a cool belt, a little bit more health, but I'll lose a slot. And I don't want to lose a slot, so yeah. The only thing I think about right now when it comes to Game of Thrones is just brand memes. Fucking Brand, the biggest creep ever. Yep. Everyone hates hell. Fuck hell.
Need some help?
Yeah. Jacob, who comes here a lot on the stream, he like pretty much just like makes characters, and then once he gets to hell, he just quits.
No
It's like he doesn't want to do it. It's mostly because he tried to do it on PS8, and PS8 on hell is not for everyone. It's mostly just for people like me, a little bit sadistic, likes to just suffer and test out their patience level. Unless of course you're making a Hammerden or Sorceress, then it doesn't matter. Then you just wreck everything anyway. Asriel, probably not want to throw you into meat grinder. Hey Squilla. How you doing? Oh my god, the fanatism. Yeah, let's not get sniped down. Sniped down. Shoot, shoot. Careful. Could be fucking double mobs or shit down here. I can't aim. Fuck! I thought it was like too close, but it wasn't. Good. So many potions. Yeah, to knock it down to players 4. Yeah, I saw that. So there was someone during battles out there. Yeah. That was rough. It's like if you go through players 1 and you get to hell, it's like, oh, this is tough but doable. But then you go from like Nightmare on players 8 to hell, and you just like, this is ridiculous. I do no damage. Why would anyone do this? And then you do it. How about I don't get wrecked by that? Sounds like a good idea. Whip. So Joel, is any news on the mod? I feel like that's the only thing I actually want to talk with you about, and I sort of feel bad about thinking that, and yet then again, it's a good part. Hey Lumen, how you doing? Are you getting oh, you're hosting me? Thank you, man. I appreciate the lurkers. How is it going, buddy? Holy crap, hitchhiking with trolls. Let me see. Holy crap, that's a big thing. Well, the thing about that hitchhiking, the thing about the whole running and not running, depends a lot on circumstances, and you could argue for both cases. Like, oh, did I try and fucking use that? That's a terrible idea. Because, like, the thing is that units have to be within melee range to hit you, right? Unless, of course, you're fighting, you know, archers, and even then, it can kind of be beneficial sometimes to just run, because if you're not taking a hit, you of course won't be taking damage, and so it really depends. There's times to be running, and then there's just times to be walking. Like, if there's going to be a whole crowd of shit going in on your ass, then stopping to walk is not beneficial. Like, that is not. Only if it's a smaller pack, you may want to consider turning down to running. Especially if you just have a little bit of an ability to tank. Like, I don't often actually walk that much unless I have at least some health or high defense or some sort of blocking. Because I don't want to get in a position where I can get stun locked. That is just not good. And it doesn't matter if I get like a little bit more increased hit chance on me, because usually if I have shitty fucking, well, that's not a good example, but if I have shitty fucking defense, then most monsters are gonna hit me at like an 80% chance, and so walking won't even like remotely benefit that at all. So yeah, like look at this right here. Like these guys have between 75 to 85 chance of hitting me. Whether or not I'm walking or whether or not I'm running, like, it doesn't fucking make much of a chance. You're better off not taking any hits at all. So the lesson to be learned in that category is that if you have a decent amount of defense and block, then you should definitely be walking. Possibly. But if you do not, then it doesn't matter anything. GG. It's okay. Yeah, exactly, Senny. Mobility is definitely key. You don't want to be slowing yourself down. The only times you want to be slowing yourself down is if you can actually tank. If you're going to be receiving a shitload of hits more, then it's not worth it. But at the same time, if you have like a reasonable amount of defense and also like run speed, then it can be worth it to walk a little bit, you know, to kite around, and yet still kind of depends on the circumstances. There's sometimes I walk, sometimes I run. Right now, I might as well just run, because I'm going to be receiving every fucking hit that gets thrown at me. Like, there's no chance of avoiding that much at all. There's still a little bit, but I'd better off just avoiding it entirely. But it is, you know, there's a pretty big difference between running and walking, mind you. I've just explained why I might think that it's not always beneficial, but like the difference between walking and running is, for one, if you have a shield, then you will effectively put your chance of blocking down to a third of that chance, and also your defense will get efficiently nullified. So if you have 15,000 fucking defense, then it will be effectively 0 if you are running with that amount of defense on. So these are like instances in which you may want to consider walking because you have the benefit of defense, and yet kind of still depends on many details. I would say it's always beneficial to me to run this is like a piece of art. Yeah, maybe. It depends. It really does. There's a time and a place for walking. I don't use it half the time, mostly because my characters rarely have high defense, nor do they have a shield, because I usually go two-handed. I'm two-handing this bow right now, you know. I'm trying to make through and fuck out of room. Yeah. I think depending on your mobility, that the times in which, and even that one is like debatable, but like versus like arrows and range shots, in that type of situation where you can actually outrun the shots, you know, that would be a situation to actually try and walk, but usually you won't even like have time to like react to that, and you're better off just trying to avoid it entirely. So yeah, again, really fucking depends. The amplifier on right now is a little bit disconcerting. Is he multi-shotting or some shit? No, I guess he was just double shooting randomly. Looked like he was shooting multiple shots. A little cheater. Do I need this for anything? No. I mean, it would get some light radius out, but that's about it. That's about it. Yeah. Did I miss a day? I learned a figure when I did Ibis every day when I did it a while. I mean, for Ibis, you don't want to really be, like, that's the thing, like, if you're doing Ibis, you don't really want to be running away, you want to be focusing them down. It's the same thing, like, it really, like, a perfect example of that is just a Serlet or Icemaiden. Of course you want to be walking with these type of characters, because they have really good hit, like, really good defense, and really good, block rate. I don't know if I'm reaching hell today, Lumen. Mostly because I don't know how big of a stream I'll be doing. And also the progression rate is fairly slow with all of the extra mobs. It would take a little bit.
Hello.
There's absolutely no reason for you to be running if you're doing Ibis. That would be the situation to walk completely. Like it would be counterproductive in every possible way. Yeah, but I mean that's also what I said. If you have a shield and you have high block rate, that's the situation in which you may want to walk, because it does efficiently lower it if you don't. And yet still, if you can avoid attacks entirely, then that's, you know, everything you will need. Like, there's a reason I've been able to do like no healing runs before, and that's because you can avoid pretty much everything in the game, especially if you have ranged attacks. It's a little bit more difficult if you're in melee, but if you have an archer like this one, then you can avoid everything, pretty much. At least enough for you to just light bleach everything back. Hey Gamut, thank you for the follow.
Atma has been.
Oh yeah, Lumen, if you're still here by any chance. Ooh, did I get 2 level ups? Oh, I leveled up and I got that one. Yeah, Lumen, if you're here by any chance, just a heads up with this whole challenge run that I'll be doing in some near future. I'm not entirely sure when. I should make note of that the playthrough we'll be doing is on single player, and it will be in a slightly modded version of Diablo. Just so you know it. We're likely to go and use some local network. Guess we can, for obvious reasons, not go on Battle.net with it. But it's not really much of a problem. No idea if he's still here. Modded how? Well, we're doing like a slightly, like right now we are actually playing a slightly modded version of Diablo, in which, as the title would suggest, there's increased mob spawns, like everywhere. Like we will actually rarely not run into a mob. Like everywhere we go is, you know, not right there, but you know, at least in a rarity. It does vary a bit, but pretty much everywhere you will run into a mob, with slight variation. That's the slight modification that has been made to the version we're playing right now. You can expect to see at least 30 mobs within like areas like this one right here. Like we just ran into one, and this is the second mob we just ran into. And it looks like this is the third mob we just ran into, and this proximity right here just ran into 3 mobs.
I am overburdened. I need mana.
And here's the 4th one. So within this area right here, we just ran into 4 mobs. Might even be more, I can't tell. I don't know how to distinguish some of these. Please add Weird Duel 6 modes. Boss pack? I guess you could call it, yeah, I mean boss packs. But I still just call them mobs because that's what mobs are. Just a boss pack.
I can't carry anymore.
We got a normal unit, and we have a champion pack right here. So right here, 4 or 5 boss packs is bossy champion pack.
Not enough mana.
It's cool.
I need mana.
But that's one of the things we'll be adding for like a co-op invention we'll be doing later. I'll be putting some restrictions on what type of build we'll be doing, and there'll be some other add-ons that securely in the chat will add. I don't want to spoil it too much. It'll be fun, and we'll probably not die. Is Vitality allowed? I haven't made my mind up on that. I am like thinking about maybe allowing 50 points into Vitality. That, or we just gotta make sure we have. But see, that's the thing that like might irritate me a little bit. Is if someone picks a druid, maybe I should just ban the druid entirely. Maybe I should just do that, because I don't like the fact that someone might actually be able to get like a pretty tanky character that beats the purpose. Everyone should just be in a constant state of fear. That's what I want them to. And if someone actually picks a druid like werewolf or fucking bear, then they'll just feel a lot safer than everyone else. Hey, the Bisty PL, thank you for the follow. You want people to use Vitality? If I'm going to let people use Vitality, I'm probably going to ban Battle Order and Oaksake entirely. Maybe I'll just put a ban on... Maybe I'll just put a ban on... yeah, the Druid. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. People might get upset, so maybe I'll put it up to a vote. I do like the Druid. But I want everyone to be in a constant state of fear. That has to be the goal for him. That's a challenge. Oh, really? Interesting. Everyone wants bear. Bear and bears, yeah. Rip, rip. I'll just let people play normally here since this will be drastically different. No! Are you, like, no, listen. I don't know what kind of things you might be thinking you should implement, but like, if people are just gonna go like regular... Because the people who are playing are people... Like, these are people... Maybe not Senny. If Senny's joined. Actually, I don't know. I really shouldn't presume too much about Senny, but like Trashborn and Fabi and me, we're all Diablo 2 fucking veterans. If we allow, you know, regular fucking builds like sorcerers or anything like that is just skill based, we're going to steamroll through the game without a single challenge. You can add 1,000 fucking mob packs in every direction, but if people are just throwing fireballs and blizzards and completely minimal max characters, like, it's going to be a cakewalk. Nobody's going to die. That is my prediction on that matter.
I can't.
That would be boring. Also, I forgot my fucking
Impossible.
arrows. Maybe not me. I'm sorry, man. I'm just making the assertion because I don't know you, but you probably know the game more well than I'm giving you. I don't know. I only know the two other guys. Are you saying core and core? Are you talking about fucking Crown of Ages? Maybe only I get a handicap. Yeah, maybe you have to be... maybe you have to be the druid. You can't use Oaksake. That would be the handicap. That you are the druid. Nobody else is allowed to make a druid. Only you. But I will definitely make a ban on Oaksake. Especially if they can use Vitality. Ooh, a mask. Oh, actually it sucks. No! Damn stingers, man. Ah! Fuck, I saw that and I was stuck moving. I also actually kind of predicted that. I kind of predicted that might happen, and yet I thought I was safe behind the Valkyrie. Did the Valkyrie just slightly move or some crap? I don't know. I got fucking penetrated by those thieves. Are we just giving the right amount of credit? Okay, that's good. What is this challenge about? Well, the challenge is mostly just one that someone wanted it. Like, I'm not allowed to put any points in Vitality. It's all dexterity. We're playing it on PS8 hardcore, and also I've had Sigoli in the chat increase the boss packs in general. So there's like boss packs everywhere. That's pretty much it to it. That's nothing like too over the top, but still entertaining and challenging. I might still die. Who knows what's going to happen?
I am overburdened.
Can I show my inventory? Sure. There's nothing special there. I just got to town first. I've got a few charms. Everything is self-found, so most of it is, you know, crap. I did find a decent charm. Using Edge primarily, and I have Saphir on the side. That's my old bow, for a little bit more speed. Focusing on freezing her right now. Got an armor of the whales. Does keep some amulet. magic fine boots, some rare magic fine resistance, just a bunch of stuff, but it's okay. Really. The gear is pretty decent right now. A face of horror. I don't really need that for anything. Thing is, I don't want to beat a druid. Well, maybe you can beat a barbarian. At least then you'll have... Well... I won't allow both battle order and vitality. But then again, if I were to give people the option to just get like 50 points in vitality, then barbarian would still get more in that aspect, and so that could work. But still. Oh shit. There's a lot of slingers around here. Oh, rather hunters. We're not slingers yet. I really don't like them. That was a slinger. Weird.
I am overburdened.
Now what are we doing? Stand still, you bitch! Let me choose my own class and we can talk about potential handicap after. Okay, I'm okay with that. Because, I mean, one thing is me, but even, like, that's the thing, like, whenever you're playing hardcore, like, even fucking veteran people can die, so... And also, since we're playing in a team, we might get overconfidence. That's, like, always one of my biggest fears when I'm playing, like, hardcore with other people, is you get overconfident and then shit just happens and you die. But yeah. Both Trashborn and Bobby are really good players. They're unlikely to die. At least not in the early game. Also, what is everyone else playing? I'm not sure. I was thinking about going, you know, for the sorceress. The two-handed sorceress. With all strength, enchantment. I'm not sure if I'll allow myself to use static field, because that might be a little bit too OP. I mean, at least with the enchantment, like pretty much everyone is going to have decent damage and attack rating. That's gonna make progression a lot more smoother, especially considering the amount of units we're going to be fighting. Trispawn, I think he was talking about maybe making a necromancer, some sort of melee necromancer. He's doing the Heisenberg build. I have no idea what Fabi is doing. I haven't actually heard anything from him in that aspect. All I know is he wants to join. Probably will try and go for an easy build if he can. He likes to be tanky, and he likes to be in a position where he can farm very easily. Why he would probably want to be a melee sorceress. I mean, well, he would want to be a sorceress, but I don't think he's going to pick that type of class because he doesn't want to go melee. So it's pretty likely he might choose a paladin, and I might have to restrict that guy in some way. Just gonna go for him, solo and tank everything up. Maybe I'll put a ban on Seal. Force him to do something wonky. I'll have to talk with people. I'm not necessarily going to dictate everything, but I'm definitely going to definitely going to have some suggestive ideas for how this playthrough is going to be. Experience point is still fucking crap right now, so let's just go. Might stick to the Amazon. What would you be doing? It has to be melee, you know. So you're just going to be doing jab, or fend, or impale. You're not gonna be able to use charge strike. No AOE is allowed. I'd probably pick Druid over the Amazon. Yeah, it's so terrible. Fend is alright. Charge strike is melee? No. It's not. It doesn't require any attack rating. It has AoE damage. Charge strike. How dare you? This is like the most fucking OP attack in the game. Hammerdins might be versatile, but nothing is as fucking OP as charge strike.
Stay a while and listen.
Blessings to you.
You need a handicap? Yeah. I'll give you a handicap in which you'll be able to survive. I won't give you a handicap that means you'll fucking dominate everything yourself and we'll just kind of sit on the side and be like, yay, Senny, go for it. Carry us. Carry on my way, son. That's just going to be the whole fucking playthrough. Jabbersoon it is. I mean, I guess jab isn't too bad. Especially, you know, actually, now that I think about it, because usually the problem with jab, you can also use fend. That's good for groups. Usually the problem is just like you don't get any like reasonable, you don't get much damage with fucking jab. But considering we might have a enchanter being me in the team, and the amount of attack speed you get from that, you would actually be pretty good. Even more so if you get someone like Trashborn using, if we get Trashborn using Amplify, that would also be like a super boost. I think pretty much everyone will be able to deal reasonable amount of damage. Like just the sheer amount of combination you can have. For even just like melee characters, like you can become seriously badass with anything. Hey, come below! Come below! How you doing, man? Come below! Come below! Why did my health pool go away? Just got a message from Blizzard telling me that StarCraft fucking remasters or something. And I'm like, cool. Don't care for it at all. It's easy to raid the bases? I'm really not much into shooters of any side. There's only one shooter that ever kind of got me intrigued, and that was Mass Effect. Maybe Dead Space was also pretty fun. And that reminds me, there's actually, I need to play Half-Life at some point. It's like a game that's so fucking highly viewed, even though it looks like crap. I should probably play it. Should probably play Half-Life at some point. I do have the game, so yeah. Hey Jacob, how you doing? I'll be very heavy on physical DPS though. Yeah, but if we get and like especially if we get amplified, that means we'll be able to deal damage to anything in the game. But if we also have like the enchanter, who's me, then that in generally will also produce quite a bit of damage. Even if it's halved on like I guess it's half. You only get like it's actually half. I don't remember if it's even less of that. You don't get the full potential of enchant on your characters. It's kind of a hilarious thing. The reason why you don't get it is because you don't have a mastery. But still, it's a significant boost, both damage and attack rating that you'd be getting from the source. Gabazon, that's my build. Nice. Does Spearmaster give you more damage to javelins? I think it does, as long as you don't throw it. I think it goes under that category, but I don't think I've ever seen anyone try and use that. That would just be terrible. Because why would you not? No one would do that. No one would fucking use javelins. Javelins are fucking made to be thrown. Barbarian would never use javelins. They have terrible range and terrible melee damage. Unless it's Titan Revenge, which the Barbarian of course can't use, so that's again terrible. Terrible. No. I just end up being a throwbar. Is that what you want? You want me to be, you want me to use javelins and then have Whirlwind be the most ineffective secondary skill ever? That could happen. Javelins are pretty fast and it's one-handed. No, listen. Yeah, it's alright, but I think you're forgetting just the speed perimeter on the Barbarian. Not every character has the same speed on items. I don't even remember how quick. You know, I could just look up that real quick just to see how terrible that would be on Barbarian. There's actually a lot of items that are slow on the Barbarian. Very annoying. Let me see. Where the hell is that actually in Javelins? Javelins. Okay, let's see. Barbarians, it's fast. Normal, slow, and then fast again. And then again the melee damage is kind of crappy. There's only like a few of them have like decent melee damage. I mean, on elite they're alright. If you can get the Bulwark Spear, then that one is alright in melee. But otherwise they're really crap and the range is crap. There's so many other choices. I would literally use a War Pike over a Javelin if I were to do a spear build, man. And the War Pike isn't particularly good either. Better off going for the Ghost Spear. Gotta go for that, what's it called? Well, I've never said I didn't want to do that build. Have I? I'm actually pretty sure I've said that. I have to stop myself. I don't know. The passive zone was terrible. I think a spear barbarian might indeed be a little bit more viable than a spear barbarian. It would be alright to use the spear. I could make it work. I just really don't want to. Like, really don't want to. Hey DT Ducky, how you doing? Do you know what I also don't want to do again? Is the passive zone. Fuck that shit. I just remember going through normal and nightmare primarily just with crushing blow and open wounds. Back then I felt like the Valkyrie was actually dealing quite some damage. Also Mercenary is helping out a lot. Where is Uncapable? I never see Uncapable. Well, I see him a few times. Not much. Does attack speed help jab? Yeah, dude. Jab is actually insanely quick. Like really, it can get some of the highest attack speeds in the game. Some of them, not entirely. It can easily hit the 4th frame. I can't remember exactly how quick it can become, but it can become up around like the 4th frame. You can easily hit the 5th frame, with just a little bit more speed, especially if you can get treachery, something like that. And also just once you hit like at 40 plus attack speed, you're going to be hitting excessively quick. The only problem is that the melee damage is not great. You barely get any boosters. You're pretty much just relying on the critical strike of that skill. But it's very quick. Which is why with the other boosters it might be pretty good. But I would consider mixing in Fen. If you don't know what Fen is, because it's an extremely underused skill. Fen is a type of seal attack that uses javelins, except it needs multiple targets. If there's not multiple targets, then it will be slow as fuck, and javelin will be a lot better. But if there's multiple targets, it is very quick, and it gets up around 400 enchantment to attack, which versus the jab is like ridiculously not higher. Like jab only gets you like 50 fucking enchantment. It gets a lot of attack rating, but like the fucking DPS on jab is nothing. It's just a quick attack pretty much. So I would recommend that you also try out and get Fend. It would take some more points. Also maybe you should go for Plague Javelin. That's the only source of AoE. Make Plague Javelin great again. Do it, man. I believe in you. Hey, Flame Dragon Price Prince. Thank you for that follow. Hope you enjoy your stay. Pew, 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 pew. There's mobs everywhere. Love it. Kill them all. I don't know how the maggot lay is gonna be like. Probably not too bad. I could use some more PS. I got a level 10 Valkyrie right now. I should maybe invest some more points into PS Max. That'd be nice. That's ranged AoE. Yeah, it was a joke. Kind of. Or actually, for a second I thought you were Jacob. It's because you're both pink. How dare you both be pink? I can't distinguish between you. I'm a colorist. Rip. Like, it was mostly meant as a joke because, you know, Plague Javelin not being that great. But yeah, I should probably not allow you to do that because then you can just sit in the back and fire. I judge people on that color. Good. But only on Twitch.
need mana.
Hmm. Hmm. And seems pretty empty down here. I would expect it a little bit more, but yeah. I think that does not have much range. Ah, there we go. Ooh, actually, no. This is like one of the little bit more scary, especially if you like coal enchant or some shit. That damage just goes up. Fucking crazy. Curse it. My plague just tickles away. Just tickles away, so it would be a straight up carry. It would be pretty good. I mean, yeah.
I can't carry anymore.
We should probably not allow it. Probably not. Also, I feel like if you're doing an Amazon, but it would be sad. It would be sad for you if you didn't get like other fucking skills. But I feel like your Valkyrie might be too strong. It would start to soak up damage. If you're doing an Amazon, well, I was thinking about maybe allowing one of us to have a like 1 or 2 mercenary. But if you're going for the Amazon with a Valkyrie, I may just have to say that everyone goes full rogue, if anything. I just have to care me. If I took that, it doesn't do anything. I mean, against crowds, the play gel is alright. Like AoE damage will always be a good thing, even if it's only tickling them away a bit. Oh. Hey, Juggles Wood, thank you for the follow. Is it really? Fuck me, man. Full circle. Full blown circle. I can take different clans if someone fucks it up for you. Why would it? I feel like if you're going for the Fen Jam combination that I mentioned, they'll be just fine. And also if you get the Valkyrie as well, like that's also okay. If we can sort of complement them in that aspect. Oh yeah, we also have. I actually forgot to think about if Lumen is joining us. Not sure though. Would be nice to have him on the team, but he might be too busy at times.
Good to see you.
But we'll see.
Good day.
There could also be some times where people might split up. Oh damn it! I shouldn't have sold that. Well, I probably would have wanted to get it with higher level, so never mind that. 84, that's pretty good.
Good day.
You could always do an assassin.
Not in town.
You know, assassin would actually be a pretty good build to go for. Especially if you get like something like Fade. Would give you a shitload of protection. Bust of speed is probably good. But I have a distinct feeling that someone is probably gonna go for Paladin and get Fanaticism for the team. That'd be pretty sweet. But if said person goes for or wants to go for Surlet, I might have to nerf that a bit. Because Surlets with Holy Shield and Fanaticism are, for obvious reasons, pretty damn good. And we don't want anything that's that good. I didn't guess what time we would be doing that. I don't remember what you said. Didn't you ask me that like yesterday or something? And I said it would be in the like the time frames of like 4 or 5 in the evening, maybe sooner if it fits people. But I'm thinking around that time zone, and then like just to whatever people are comfortable with. It depends. Depends if people are working. Also, it may be hard to actually get everyone together. Like, we won't be able to do it like on a weekly basis. So, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, we'll just be able to set aside some days and do some serious progress. You asked for that, but you had to run? Yeah, okay.
Not enough mana.
Yeah.
Stay a while and listen.
Na, 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 na. When can I predict this? I would prefer, you know, to finish up this project. And I'll still have to talk with the guys a little bit. So, I don't know, somewhere between 2 weeks to maybe a month. Then I will be able to hopefully be able to set a date and within that time or something.
I am overburdened.
I could always put this project on a pause if some people may need it to be done sooner or something. Probably all, like, we're probably all going to be on, like, we're gonna be talking together, you know, on either Discord or Skype or whatever medium we find applicable. That would be the most fun. Quite some time? Well, I mean, and one thing is to just start up a project, but like, we have people with different time zones and also different work schedule. I think Lumen has a different time zone, but usually he's like streaming whenever I would be streaming as well, so it's kind of good for that whole pack. And also the whole, we need to make sure the mod is like working properly. That is where Gola is in, and I can't exactly pressure him into, you know, coming up with any deadlines, because it's 12, 11 here at the moment, so yeah. I expected that to be, I expected you to have that time zone there. It's like at me, it's like 18, so it's like 6 in the evening. So it works just fine with me because I'm already awake and I can stay up early, like late, and therefore it's a good time zone to be streaming and playing in for people like around the world. What was I saying right now? Yeah, but I mean it will just depend. If I can talk to people, maybe we'll be able to set aside a date within, you know, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. I really don't want to set too close of a date right now because I'm changing jobs within 2 weeks, and so my schedule may become a little bit messed up. Also, I don't have any working shifts ahead. But yeah, I don't know. It kind of depends. It shouldn't be too late, mind you, but it doesn't have to be here now either. Definitely want to make sure I have the details on the place. I'll just keep going until we're done, or will we have to look for another date to continue? I mean, that's going to be a thing, because like one thing is the setting up a date where everyone can play. Well, let me do that like for the first day, but then after that we may have to like just talk together and see for one official day, and then maybe people will do some solo runs. Maybe 2 or 3 people will get together and do a little bit of progression, and then everyone just catches up and rush each other and whatnot. Because then it may be hard for. Actually, let me just count it for me. Well, it's gonna be a lot of people if everyone gets together. So me, Trashbone, Fabi, Lumen, Sandy. It's 5 people. 5 people to get together. That could require some planning. Because also everything could just fit together. Sometimes that happens, and that's awesome. Like everyone just has time or a day off at the same time on every week. That's awesome. But we may have to do some extensive planning. Hopefully we'll just be able to, you know, progress relatively quickly and not make this a project that will take months to finish. Maybe we all just die, and that's also a way to finish it. Yeah, it won't necessarily be easy. But if everything kind of works together, I'm expecting that we'll be able to at least have a get-together once a week. At least. If we can just set aside some hours for that, then we should still be able to get some good progression on the way. Especially in a team like Diablo doesn't take that long. We'll be playing on some difficulties, that's for sure.
I can't carry anymore.
Peters? Yeah, let's go for Peters. I'm gonna get out of the maggot layer. There's no music down here. It's very sad. Very depressing. I forgot to check out the damage of my mercenary. It's not great, but still something. Also, my physical output is pretty crap. What happens if I DC? What do you mean DC? Do you mean like if you whelm down? Because that is a thing. It won't actually happen. Wait, will my character die to whatever is punching the crap out of me? Actually, no. You are unlikely to die to that. Because I've actually had that happen to me where the game like crashed on me, But technically, I was still like in game, and something actually killed me. But because the game like crashed, that was like not recorded because I was not in the game. But it still appeared as if I was in the game with whoever was there. So I don't know if it would be if it was like a bad timing, you might just die to it. But I haven't actually seen it. I've only seen that you die after the game has crashed, and so the game wouldn't actually register you dying because you only died like you only died when your friends were looking, which is weird, but it shouldn't happen. Sounds like a way to do items. Yeah. That is not a thing you can do on... It's not a thing you can do online. At least not in my understanding of it. But it would be a way to do it, because we're not... For obvious reason, we're not going to be playing on Battle.net, which is, you know, a little bit of an obstacle. We'll be doing TCP/IP and likely through either something like the Game Ranger or Hamachi. So whoever is hosting the games may experience some slight lags, and the game will need to be reset sometimes in order to reduce that lag. So whoever takes on that job kinda has the straw end of that. Oh, you will, your games will crash, and it should be fine. Just make sure you're not the guy up front. Maybe what you, no, I won't do that. Maybe you should just go for, spears. This the longest spears in the game, so you can like stand behind us and just hit through us. Well, that came out weird. But like use your range so you're not in complete melee. Holy crap! What's going on in here? It's a fucking orgy of maggots. That's really not something I wanted to see. Sheldusek, thank you for the follow. You'll be the caster, yeah. I mean, if you go for something like a ghost pike, no, a ghost spear, that has a lot of range to it. I mean, you could also go for a war pike, but I don't think you want to, because that is slow as hell. Unless, of course, we get someone who has fanatism, then it may not be too bad. Like, everything works with fanatism. Really. Shields are pretty good, yeah. Like, that would actually be... Oh yeah, I forgot that. I forgot that as a note. Because what you technically could do, if we're going for like a no vitality run, in that aspect, is that you could just go for like all dexterity with javelins, because just like bows, the javelins also get a attack bonus, and then you would be getting max block all the time. That would be a pretty good handicap for you, just to have max block. That poison is just raping me, man. Fucking hell. Really? Oh my goodness. I can't fucking do anything about that. Which builds like Headhunter's Glory most? Headhunter's Glory? Is that the one I'm thinking about, or is it Because it's a pretty famous one, but I'm actually letting a little bit. Let me see. What? What is that for shield? It's that one. I don't know.
Hello.
Because I've never used that shield on any character. That's the potential for a lot of stats resistance, I guess, but really not anything I've ever gone for. It's not much of a handicap if it's convenient that dexterity gives luck. No, maybe. I always think about that as well. But you know, I'm also just trying to find excuses. I can't fucking kill the cold worm. I don't have any damage for that. Fucking champions everywhere. So many potions. And fuck that shit, man. Okay, need to get the hell out of this place. Ooh, a partisan. I still didn't get a silver in. That's unfortunate. Pick it up! 2 seconds. Rip. But I wanted to. Oh, you actually killed the fucking. Wow, Ashriel. That's impressive. Not really, but still. You did what I could not do. Did I go for strength on that? Probably not. Rip. Hey, Rake. How you doing, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Probably because I'm not playing any games you like. Rip.
Blessings.
I did see you on Pager stream. I just didn't say hi. Rip. You'd say soon because the Suns have like defense? Or I'm not sure. Tyrael will be a good fight. I'll just pretty much. Nah. Tyrael will be fine. Because I have a pretty good character right now. It won't be a problem. I'm more scared about random units sniping me down. Especially javelin fuckers and then some of the fire, coal enchanted shitters that just explode in your face. That's the worst part. You sleep when I'm awake. Rip. In Chicago? Nice. Shit, that's sure a lot of people build Riftsins. Riftsins? That's weird. Like, really, a Riftsin? That's not even like the Riftsin is like a fucking like experiment. Well, not it's really. I didn't really anticipate it being that famous and like applicable. I mean, it's kind of a niche thing. Really. I don't even remember what he recommended for that. I know the guy who made that build. The guy who actually came up with that whole idea and principle. He makes this around Claris's monster area along on JSP. The Rift is pretty good. In generally, like Cake Assassins are pretty. That's a pretty solid build. It's really hard. And very quick. And you don't have to worry about freaking getting a strong melee weapon. You just gotta get an elite boot. And then it's all the other stats that mean the most. I'm just getting like something like a Lawbringer for a cake assassin, and you'll just wreck everything. Rift assassin is a very cool idea. Really taking advantage of what you can kind of just make out of weird items that you wouldn't really think worth it. Lawbringer, puke. So much hatred towards the Lawbringer. Probably because I overuse that weapon as hell. Because it's super fucking effective on like untrimmed builds. But I probably won't use the Lawbringer on this character. Probably not. Good. Cool. Heyo. See, there's an explosion, dude. It's the guy that explodes in your face. Did you just make a peep? Are you making? No, you ruined it. You ruined the puke pyramid. Ah, oh, rip. Where the fuck did that guy come from? It's like there's the fucking champion pack that I just killed, and then another one just came there. Rip the pyramid. Jacob always gets denied. It's probably just because he's too slow. Someone is too slow to make a pyramid. Well, rip. Yes, it was a puke emit. I wonder how the claw violet tomb is gonna be like. Probably maybe filled with snakes and shit. Oh, yeah, that was quick. I hate those guys. It seemed like I got lucky that they didn't actually hit me much. But I can literally not see shit around here. Ribbity. You just appear out of nowhere and charge at you. Rip. Maybe that should be maybe that should be a thing I could ask Sigolia for, in terms of making the game more difficult. It could be interesting to increase the aggro range of units. Like, just have monsters be naturally drawn to you. Maybe not from too far away, but just in generally. They just start waddling towards you. All of a sudden they're just coming in clutches at you. GG. I'll have to ask him about that. It may be a little bit difficult to implement. Alright, Lumen, see you about. Walk that doggy do. Do.
Good evening.
Show him the love. Where's the love? It's right there. Ooh, branch out. Ooh, mummified trophy. My god, I'm just getting so many bad jobs. Really though?
I need money.
Really? Can we look at your fire claw dude later? Maybe. I'll have to switch the settings. I'm feeling really lazy today, so I don't know. That used to be... Wait, what? Used to be a thing in vanilla. You could aggro mobs all the time. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? You can aggro them all the time? And what does that have to be? Okay, there you go. My fucking headset wire is a little bit sensitive these days. Can we see the Kappa bar? Well, he's dead. Just stand and they'll come there eventually? Really? What settings you got now? What setting? What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh.
I can't carry anymore.
Can't even like see where that thing goes. I wish I had some extra light. Ow. I forgot to get the arrows. That was like one of the reasons why I even went to town, and then I ended up getting distracted by something else.
It is an honor to serve you.
It is an honor to serve you.
Hello.
He said this was a different setting. Well, I mean, the setting right now is with the extra mobs and whatnot. I don't really know what setting you were talking about either. Stand still, you bitch.
I can't carry it.
Technically, a lot of units can like follow you. They can follow you everywhere. There's not really like any limitations to how far they will go. The only time they stop aggroing is if you get out of range of them entirely. Then there's just some AIs that are stupid, because they won't really follow you much at all. Especially the Marauders like this have one of that retarded AIs where they'll like run back and
I
forward.
can't carry anymore.
And then there's some units like the Slingers, they'll just follow you to the end of the earth, man. They never stop. They always persist. Zombies are also retarded. Giant sword. Oh, they would appear out of nowhere? Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. That might be a thing that I've forgotten about. Really? It was at the beginning? What the fuck? What the frick? I did seem to recall that being a thing. Is it because, like, is it something they used to do? I don't think that's a vanilla thing. It might be like an old thing in the older game where units might like waddle around. I mean, some of the units do waddle around a bit, But for the most part, they kind of stay in peace. Like they stand still. I know this because I've seen people like use cheat engines to be able to see like further. And a lot of monsters really don't do much if there's nothing going on. They'll just stand about. And then there's some units that just have like walking mechanics. And even then there seems to be like a radius in which they waddle.
Not enough mana.
Ooh, there's a tomb fuck.
Not
A little bit scary. By the way, did they remove the storm? I don't. They used to move more. That would make sense. I don't recall much of it, but that would make sense. +9. Oh my god, that's. I almost want to use it, and yet, like, no. No.
I am overburdened.
Killer mobs would tell like mad. I remember that being a thing. Especially since they would heal themselves every time they had that modification. Yeah, double explosion. I'm definitely getting a little bit more experience point in this arc. Yeah. They used to teleport a lot and heal in the process. Quite a bit. It was a really annoying unit to deal with. Like nowadays they barely even use that function. And not in a strategic way. Like it really could be a modifier to be reckoned with, like really scary. If the AI actually knew how to use it properly. Like if they were to jump straight on you without warning. But of course they don't do that. I've seen that actually happened once when I really didn't want it. But it's like I think it was Stormtree that actually teleported on me. But I think it was more by accident than anything. It was just one choice they could have done. Usually they just use the teleport to get away from you. They don't use it in an aggressive way. Which could be a very scary move for some characters.
I am overburdened.
I feel like I'm never finding freaking arrows, but I think I just don't pick it up. Ah, that's rough, man. Fucking, I didn't even think about that.
Not enough.
You fucking hell, you teleported and then exploded on you and you died? That's awful. Especially like that mechanic being so terrible. Yeah, that's a little bit beyond even hardcore. I would be seriously mad if that happened to me. Oh my god, seriously, where the fuck is this place? It's like right at the beginning. Like right where I started. How? Can't be right. Oh shh. How did I miss that? Oh god, fuck me. How did I miss that? Okay, nobody judge me. I'm sleeping today. That's a valid reason. How did I miss that? Fucking hell. But I don't want to be doing the ancient tunnels, Jacob. Rip. Rip, rip, rip. I was... My god. I'm so blind. Blind me.
Good day.
Good day.
Welcome to my shop.
Maybe I'll do the pits on hell for you. Go kill ancient car, the soulless. Is that a reference to Median Excel or something? Here comes the salamanders. They seem to not be taking that much damage. Oh dear. Soul lost.
I knew.
They seem to have a lot of resistance. I think I gotta get a better bow soon. Get some physical damage. That'd be nice. Oh god. At least the mustache is doing alright damage. Blanket mail. I wonder if I should consider upgrading that other unique one I got. Yeah, but it's a crossbow, so it's kind of crap.
I need mana.
I'm pretty sure that these claw vipers are calling me on hell. So this place is gonna be fun. Uh-oh. He's in the wrong tube, many mods. Oh yeah, that's right. He's that guy that nobody fucking runs into. He's a super unique unit. But yeah, nobody runs into him because nobody runs in the wrong tomb deliberately. Yeah, he can definitely hit hard. Unravels actually have a potential to deal pretty high damage with a lot of players in the game. If you add some extra strong in on that mix as well, that's pretty rough. He's not always in the wrong tomb? Is he not? I don't remember. think that might be one of the reasons. It's fucking random. ICGM, thank you for the follow. Enjoy this day. You've had him the right too? Oh. I thought he only spawned in the wrong one, but I might have been mistaken on that. Ah, yep. So 1 of the 7 gems. Yeah, I guess that actually does make it pretty uncommon, I guess. And, I mean, yeah, you don't... It makes sense to be only finding him and doing tomb runs. Since it's still only a 1 in a 7 chance. Plus you might not even be exploring all of the tomb of the right one, and that's... Those tombs can be pretty damn big. Also... Ain't nobody wants to do that shit.
Good evening.
How may I help you?
Oh my, how rude. I can find
Good day.
some shit. Well, this is definitely not the right way.
I can't carry anymore.
3 seconds. Next malice. The next room could be a little bit rough. Hey, Toaster! Toaster, my man, how you doing? It's good to see you.
Not in.
I don't really want to open up that door.
I am overburdened.
Morning was able to after a long ring. Okay. I don't really know if that's a good thing, man. I mean, yeah. As long as, yeah. I got tricked into doing Diablo 2. Rip. But I'm actually enjoying it. Rip.
I need.
I mean, if it's a little bit of weed, guess that's not too bad. Drugs is kind of problematic, man. Hope you don't get yourself into some shit.
I am overburdened.
Nothing addictive? I mean, what drug is not addictive other than weed, mind you? There's really only one drug, and even the definition of a drug in terms of marijuana is a little bit debatable. But yeah, like, weed is not actually addictive, but people can, you know, still have habits of it. Yeah, I do allow a lot of inwards. The ice bro, pew pew. Well, I'm not sure if I would go for that. That's really high runes, man, to be getting the ice rune. I think I might even be more inclined to go for like faith or something like that. But the ice bro would be pretty gnarly to have. Keep shooting. Don't give them any fucking leverage. Don't let them get closer. Uh-oh. Fuck off! Stupid skeletons, where did you come from? Where did you come? Where did you go? How are you still alive? How many fucking... It's not even Fang Skin that's down there. It's like a double fucking mob. Jesus. Okay, that's where Fang Skin is. Freaking double mob. Snakes. They almost pierced through me. So weed is sweet. I just want to be vegan and make a big deal. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you can do whatever you want. I mean, I'd prefer you not take, you know, actual drugs, but at the end of the day, I can't really change anything like that. But, yeah. I really don't consider weed a drug. If you were to call weed a drug, you'd have to call sugar and alcohol a drug as well. Especially considering that those two things are actually addictive and harmful for your body. But yeah, that's kind of really the only guess, especially since you said that it was not addictive, because there's really no other drugs than weed that is not addictive, at least to my understanding. I might be wrong on that. Sounds like anything else would be yeah. I mean, if like weed ever became, you know, legal in my country, I wouldn't mind it as a thing. It would be a thing that I could enjoy as much as I can enjoy alcohol sometimes. I just kind of have a little bit of a iffy mentality towards it. It's kind of, I kind of would have a problem with acquiring it because I would be, you know, supporting like actual criminals. And I mean, if I could make sure that these were just, you know, people just fucking selling it and nothing else, then I could maybe be fine with it. But yeah, I really would. Halo lawfully good? I wouldn't say myself to be lawfully good.
I can't carry it.
I would be swinging in the chaotic. I don't really care much for lawful. If you were to put me in a category, I would swing between either being on the scale of neutral, chaotic good, and perhaps even actually lawful evil. But yeah, a little bit of law and order is good and all. Can't let yourself become blinded to it either. But then again, these fucking vague definitions don't go anywhere. Yeah, lawful evil. Deal with it.
Stay a while and listen.
Blessings to you.
I can't put myself in any of these categories. Like you can ration yourself and kind of build your character into any of these categories, but they're vague as fuck and kind of contradict themselves. But they're still kind of fun, especially in like in the dungeon crawling aspect and all that kind of stuff. Damn delay. You gotta reset your video. Rip.
Greetings, Lampard. Please state your business.
But I do feel like weed will sooner or later become a legit thing. Especially with how the whole thing has kind of been addressed and with more and more research, you know. Well, I mean, the only legitimate thing I could really come up with when it comes to weed is that it is proven to show, like it is proven to have negative consequences for young adults to be taking weed. Even in smaller quantities, it can trigger, you know, I can't remember the exact word of it, but it can trigger schizophrenia in that aspect. There are some legitimate concern when it comes to weed, especially like young people and young adults. We have actually legitimate evidence for negative consequences of it. But I mean, it's kind of the age-old problem with that aspect as well. Like, if people want something, they're gonna get it. And so even if you like put a ban on weed, people are gonna get it. I would really prefer society to have more control on it, as in you could actually guide people and be like, you shouldn't take this right now, but you know, as an adult it can be fine. That kind of stuff. I did actually reply to your question. I do have ladder runes enabled. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna be going for ice because that's a really high-end thing to be going for. Hey Gravities, how you doing? That's a little too harsh, but yeah, I agree. Teens should not smoke weed, triggers early anxiety and depression. The anxiety and depression, I can't remember the legitimacy of that. You may be right on that, I can't remember if that is actually proven scientifically. The only thing I do know is that medically schizophrenia is a thing that can be triggered, and it's not even just on habits. Like people smoking weed one time, it can trigger schizophrenia, so it does have legitimately health like issues that you should take into consideration. And so that whenever people will argue against whether or not we should legitimize like weed, that would be the only legitimate concern that I could consider, is the whole, if you're young you shouldn't do it because it can actually trigger schizophrenia. That and some other issues that I'm not completely aware of right now. A little bit ignorant on that. What exactly did you mean in terms of the harshness? Was that something I said that you felt that was harsh? Not sure if I did. But generally, I do feel like we should be legitimized. It really doesn't. Again, there's the legitimacy of schizophrenia, which is scientifically accurate. It's very small quantity, mind you. Heiner92, thank you for the follow. It's a very small quantity, but if you look at the objectively aspects of it, like fucking weed doesn't have any negative fucking consequences. Especially again, if a doll uses the drug or whatever you may define it as, like it can kill you, and it doesn't have any negative issues like on your health or anything, and it's not addictive. And then you have like fucking alcohol that legitimately kills thousands of people in every freaking country around the world and has many health issues, but this is okay. But I mean, this in on itself, that argument can be twisted, and so I don't like to use it as the only type of thing whenever people are having this type of discussion, because it can be twisted and manipulated to justify a lot of things, mind you. The question is the psychological or the physical? It's why I wish we had more knowledge about neuroscience. This is also an argument that can be made, and it's something that is well worth taking into account, is that there is still a lot of things that we don't know about the human body, both physically and psychologically, and there can be aspects that are not completely founded yet, and which more research does indeed need to be put into it. That's also why when it comes to these like type of discussion, that I feel like there has to be more than just like a single argument for it, in terms of like both objectively, subjectively, because you can put in the science in the aspect, but I feel like also a big part of why I would think we to be legitimized is just the aspect that if people want drugs, they are fucking going to get it, and you're just bringing growth to more, you know, crime by not allowing people to get it. That's one argument again, and I don't think that on its own is enough as a reason to legitimize it. Like, I can understand that people might still have reasons to want to have it, you know, illegal, and if you live in a democracy, then that is kind of the rule you have to go about, that people will have to reach a consensus and agree upon it. But still, I feel like that's a thing that is sooner or later going to be pretty much legit everywhere around the world. That's at least my prediction. Probably not necessarily everywhere, probably not necessarily in my lifetime. Who knows? Who knows? If alcohol was invented recently, it would become in the same category as GHB. GHB, what is that? What's that? But yeah, that is also that is actually a good aspect. Again, if we're trying to take up this discussion, because one of the reasons why alcohol is kind of getting a free pass on many of these subjects is because it's like ingrained into society, and that is how a lot of it is rationalized. It is part of tradition, it's part of society's culture and conduct, and so a lot of it is really rationalized excessively. And to those who, you know, understand what that aspect means, like, to rationalize is not rational. It is not rational to rationalize. It is actually the opposite. It is irrational. Oh god, I feel like I can't keep up with the chat right now. Let's see. The quiz will never. Yeah. Let's see. Pascal needs to talk about American politics. That's not gonna happen. A lot of people would who smoke weed, but then again, I'm gonna answer that. This is less of a more of a thing. Well, that's the thing you can say about a lot of things. You can say that about fucking sugar as well. Like, sugar is not a drug, it's just more of a thing. But, you know, it is a pretty troublesome thing, because, like, sugar has absolutely no beneficial aspects to it in its raw consumption. It's addictive, and it leads to a lot of health problems. It is a big part of why obesity is a part of the world, and it is extremely cheap and available for everyone. And the whole industry has kind of put on a lot of cover with that whole thing. So, you know, one could actually very easily argue that sugar is an extremely harmful drug that we are allowing because reasons. But then again, I would never put a ban on sugar, because I find that category to be in under personal responsibility. Just like I find alcohol to be under that category. Just like I find weed to be in under that category. Although society and, you know, lawfully it's illegal. That's kind of the difference on it. Personal responsibility or not. Old Warrior, thank you for the follow. You want to go to Amsterdam? Yeah, I might want to do that at some point. Yeah, that's actually another thing. That's another legitimate reason for it, but in terms of like greed, there's actually medically good reasons to have it. But this is again also something that you have to take into account, because you already have examples in which weed is being used for medical purposes. Like, no one can really argue about that, because it is actually beneficial for those people, for those patients. But I don't think you can use that as a single example to argue for the complete and utter legitimization of weed. As much as I would like it to be, it's not an argument on its own for personal use. It is without doubt a good argument for the use of it, and in generally, using for patient, that's good, because it actually has legitimate purpose in that aspect, and it's not just something you would do for fun, mind you. Your brain's being on connection? Sure. Rascal says he'll nuke America. That doesn't sound good. Evo, thank you for the follow. What am I hearing? What is this? Well, you moved in on a discussion on drugs, Jacob. That's what you moved into. Drugs and sugar and all kind of additive and shit. Sugar is healthy, fam. No, it's not. Too many tourists in Amsterdam. And Jacob just goes ahead and says drugs are great. Yeah. Drugs are good, okay? You should all do drugs, okay? Nothing wrong with sugar as long as you don't sit on your ass. You can't say the same about alcohol. What do you mean? What do you mean? You can drink responsibly. You can, not get piss-ass drunk and lose control of yourself. That's still personal responsibility. Although I can actually argue against my own train of thought idea. So I'll just have to correct myself and say that for the most part, most people are able to control themselves and not drink excessively. And if they do, go over that border, they should be, smart enough to actually learn from that experience and not drink excessively. The thing about sugar is it is actually addictive, whereas in alcohol is more. It's more of a thing that certain people have like. There are people who have like alcoholic genes, and this is something we can actually show and demonstrate. It can be within the genes, but like until you actually get to that state, there isn't anything that is actually making it addictive. The minute you eat sugar, you get a craving for it. It is addictive the minute you eat it, and everyone pretty much craves sugar. And there is an excessive amount of it. But I mean, again, like it's personal responsibility, and that's kind of trying to put it off in aspects. And yeah, Bales, sure. Time to close that? No, why is it? That's an interesting talk. It's good to be talking about something that isn't completely about gaming or food. I like that sometimes. Just as long as it's not about fucking politics and especially American politics. I've just closed my eyes for that right now. It doesn't exist. I shouldn't even say it. Nope. Shut up. That's amazing. It's been used longer than any other substance. It does has its purpose. I mean, especially especially in areas where it's fucking cold, and also it's been like a way to ward off out like diseases. But it's more. It is really a substance of, you know. Ooh, a soul ring. Substance for enjoyment. It doesn't really, in our time age, have any other purpose than that, other than whatever way you can rationalize it. And it's a dangerous substance that kills a lot of people. Sometimes people are just stupid. Well, that's a thing for the most time, you know. Anti-Junker, thank you for the follow. A lot of people are stupid. I don't think that ignorance is an excuse. Even if you're ignorant, that is really not an excuse. You should really still be held accountable for your actions. It's very, very easy to just feign fucking ignorance. And I hate that so much. Especially when journalists do it. Because these are the first people who should have fucking done, you know, some legitimate research. But that's another subject that is boring. Something can be overused, but something doesn't make it bad. I mean, like, I haven't really argued that at all. It was just, I was putting it into the aspect in which people would argue the negative consequences of certain drugs, etc. But like, generally my opinion about many of these subjects is that we should have personal responsibility over these things. I mean, drugs are definitely not good in any aspects, but it's also very common that people rationalize a lot of bad things, especially things like alcohol and also sugar, which is really problematic. Like, it is. It's addictive and it is it's completely unhealthy. There's nothing about sugar that is healthy. And even if you have personal responsibility, like people will still make bad choices, and it will, it will influence society. It is a burden that society may have to deal with in some way. And if people are not responsible, like, someone has to pay for that. And then you have to ask the question: are you willing to pay for people doing stupid things just for that freedom? I might be the one to be that like that. That I want people to have personal responsibility, to drink, to eat, and possibly smoke some weed if they want that as well. But it is a question. There are people who have different points of view in that, especially if you look at someone like I think it's mostly Sweden, who like have a politics on drinking. Yeah, let's see. Cars are gonna actually have sex, because maybe actually make babies. Well, we do want babies in the world. That is the thing. Let me see what else is being said. We got flying cars. We're doing this. Flying cars is a little bit far-fetched. Weed is legal in places. Yeah, it is in some places, but it's like this whole discussion kind of just like this whole discussion, Jacob. It started on the mere sentiment that Toasters was talking about him smoking weed, pretty much. And then I was just talking. Then we just started. Oh god, there's a lot of monsters. Yeah, that's just how it started, and I was just talking about, like, I wouldn't mind, smoking some weed. just like I would sometimes drink alcohol, and I don't really drink alcohol often. But I kind of objected to it in the aspect that I don't want to support criminals in that aspect. If I could just know that whoever is like selling, I would just prefer it to be legal, because I really don't want to be supporting criminals in that aspect, and that's why I don't smoke weed. Like, yeah. I would like to. I would like to be able to do it legitimately, but I just don't see myself going out to buy it, because I don't want to be supporting criminals. That's really the issue I have on it. No, I can't. You can easily ration sugar. It's a quick source of energy. It's a bad source of energy. Like, it's not even like that quick. Like it's terrible. If you don't have anything else in your body, you'll fucking break apart. Like, that's basic stuff about sugar. Like, you need more than that. You can pump yourself up, but if you want to be using sugar, you pretty much have to go for, you know, some caffeine as well. Just pure sugar, like, some people can keep rice and that, but most people will just fucking fall apart if they only consume sugar. It's terrible, terrible. And Jacob's just like, hell yeah, let's smoke some fucking weed. Whip. Shrooms are natural and amazing. Yeah, maybe. I mean, what do you mean by sugar? Because, like, a double bow? Ooh! I'm getting distracted now. A strap! Oh god! Not strap! Well, now I might kind of have to use it. I mean, in military wrestling you're talking. Because, like, it depends what type of sugar it is. And, like, generally carbs and... I actually don't know the word on English. I think the word is carbs. Like, when all, like, carbs, like, digested, it sort of turns into sugar. But the process in which you get this is a release of slow energy. And so it really depends, because if you're just digesting pure sugar, then all that energy will turn into, you know, pure energy in 20 minutes. And the thing about energy is that your body is not able to store energy. The only way to store energy is fat, and also that huge dose of energy that isn't released, you know, over time is just an overburn. It has no health benefits at all. But you can still have a little bit. A little bit of sugar isn't necessarily bad, but if you can avoid sugar entirely, that's better. Like, your body has nothing to use the sugar on at all. It's just fire. You're just lighting fire in your body and nothing else. Then it's over. Then you got some useless carbs that you then have to replace with something new. Like, yeah. It's good though. I love sugar. I like sweet stuff. I really do. But it's fucking unhealthy. Did I miss something in the chat? I probably did. Let's see. Are you making the natural argument right now? I showed off the bow, didn't I? Okay. It's not super good. It's the Endless Shale. That's 211. Let me put it on. Oh yeah, that's right. You don't actually get that much. That one is actually getting more damage. Yeah, it's not great. It does have some mana. That's cool. No attack bonus. Some cold damage. Yeah, fucking 5? Yeah, it's a lot of skill points, but, you know, it's not really that much. Everything considered. Let's see, how much do I do with Straff? I do shit. Look at this damage right here. This is why people don't like to go for bow zone, because physically it's fucking crap. And also why I want to get good bow. It's so terrible. Mercenary being stronger. I don't even have any extra speed, so... Oh god, it's terrible. It's terrible. I guess it's not too bad. Let me just see. It's terrible. It's fucking terrible. But at least I have some physical damage that I'll be able to use against some other mobs when they're immune. Once I get a good bow. Most artificial food is often over-processed and healthy, possible side effects. Yeah. I mean, one thing that was good about sugar in the past is the way that we've been able to preserve it. But you know, a lot of processed food is kind of made to be super cheap. Like, you really gotta avoid that. But it's also the consumer's fault that, you know, processed food has become such a thing. And that's because people demand it. There's a demand for it. And then there's people who just blindly eat shit and don't think about anything. It stores energy in fat and glucagon, but you're right, people are obese mainly because they eat too much carbohydrates. Yeah, I mean, fat for one thing has a lot of calories in on itself. It's fat, but it's actually often a misconception that you have to avoid fat. In fact, if you're on a diet, you are likely to make sure that you also have fat within that diet, because a diet without fat also means that your metabolism won't be as effective. You need to eat and you need to keep your metabolism going, and also the way that your body absorbs vitamins and stuff is also in large directly through fats. Like, it's actually really important for your diet to have fat. Eat fat, it's healthy. But sugar, not so much. And empty calories, especially like white bread and other things that are... It's because of the way that your body absorbs food and how it digests it. Because if you eat more than you can fucking burn, like, that's why people get obese. It's why I have gotten fat. Not obese necessarily, but definitely fat. So we get a thing like that. When I say sugar, do I mean fruit sugar? Well, that's actually another misconception, because even fruit sugar are terrible. Like, in general, sugar is bad, but there's been a very big misconception when it comes to sugar. And this is a heads up to anyone who doesn't know this. It's not actually that uncommon. Like, if you've done some research, you would know this, but it's kind of a overestimated aspect. Like honey and in generally fruit sugars, they're not healthy. Not at all. It is like, what the fuck happened to my... How did you die again, mercenary? I look away for a second and you die. But like fruit sugars, like, it's such a low difference that it's almost laughable. Because it's still freaking sugar. It's calories that will be absorbed into your body within, like, if you consume honey or fruit sugar from, you know, fruits or dried fruits or berries or that kind of stuff, these type of calories will still go directly into your blood in 20 minutes. That it's not good in any way. Like, in smaller doses, If like eating a bowl of oatmeal with a little bit of honey, that's fine because you actually get the oatmeals, like the oats, which are really good source of energy in some doses, mind you. But like, just trying to replace sugar entirely, like fucking fruit sugar, is a terrible idea. It's still sugar. It's not healthy just because it's a fruit. Not at all. Like, I've looked at the fucking data around that shit, and the difference between them are like 0.0 something. It's such a laughable difference that I can't even believe that anyone would go out and make the argument that getting fruit sugars are in any way healthy, because it's not. It's nowhere healthy at all. No substitute. Don't even think about using that as a substitute for it, because it's not. No freaking difference at all. Laughable. Halo just hates sugar. I love sugar. Dude, man, I have like the biggest fucking sweet tooth than anyone. Like, I love sugar, but fuck me, it's not healthy. Don't try to sugarcoat it, Kappa. And it depends on lifestyle. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Moderation is fine. Like, just like you can drink alcohol, which is not healthy, and still be healthy. Like, moderations. But if we are objectively looking at what is in something and what it gives to you, then sugar has absolutely nothing to give you. It can give you some joy. That's a good thing. Like, I mean, I'm a chef, so a lot of the food that I cook is something that's made primarily, you know, for joy. I know how to make healthy food, but, you know, people crave some unhealthy stuff. And as much as fat is, you know, good in smaller dosages, like going in and getting some butter sauce is not a very good idea if you're on a diet, or just in general you want to be healthy, but you can still be healthy and sometimes eat unhealthy. Like, that's fucking basic stuff. You shouldn't even have to make any kind of argument around that. You jack yourself up on honey and then you go play MOBAs. But fruits have vitamins. No. Well, yes. The thing is, that's not a fucking thing. The fucking vitamins of most fruits are laughably low. Some of them have a little bit, but most fruit really don't have shit. Especially things like oranges that have been imported from like around the world. Like, usually those are like picked when they're fucking green, and then they're artificially like matured either through gassing, or they will just like that's the thing, especially with like oranges. Whenever I get that in a restaurant, that's the thing. If you've ever been working in a restaurant, you'll get like a whole basket of oranges. And among that basket, you'll have like this one orange that is just like completely green and rotten. And that's because that's one way to artificially mature fruit. And also vegetables in that aspect can be done. Is that they'll just take green oranges and they'll lay a completely molded one. And all the enzymes around that molded one will spread to the other oranges, and then they'll become oranges. They'll be sweet, but they'll have absolutely no vitamins or shit in there. At most you'll have sugar, and that's again a reason why fruit sugar is absolutely fucking crap, for the most part. Snarlovic, thank you for the follow. Hope you enjoy your stay. Give me your sources, kid. I refuse to believe you. Well, yeah, I'm just gonna be slapping out my fucking paid PhD on this matter or something. That, or I just suggest you Google these things because they're pretty common knowledge. Although I know you're just trolling me, Rascal, so... yeah. That's why. That's also why juices are bad, because you can barely eat like. Yeah, like drinking juice is really not a good thing. A lot of them are just from freaking concentrate. I think that's the word for it. But like juices can be good if you actually make them yourself and you know what's in them. Especially if you also use some vegetables in there. Like things like mixing in like. That's one good thing that's been becoming a little bit more popular is like ginger. Ginger is fucking healthy. Getting some ginger in your juices can be alright. Beetroot pressed through a juicer can also be really good, but you're not getting, you know, the fibers, so that's another thing. That's also why something like if I'm gonna go for like a type of healthy smoothie or juice, like sometimes I might even like add some of like the fibery stuff. I just blend it completely. Because that could be alright. That is healthy. I mean, that maybe. Well, I feel like you're kind of passing through what I'm saying, because I'm not making a statement that one thing, like one diet, is more healthy than another. Because health is that's nice. Health, in terms of what is healthy and what is not, this is a subject that can be debated and will be changing continuously. And that's also kind of how science works for the most part. Is that it's an ongoing process. And so if you want to have like a scientifically, like a consensus of something, you really have to be specific. And one thing that you will find scientists being very much in the green about in terms of sugar, and that is like that's a thing I can say, that I don't think you can find any legitimate scientist who will say that sugar is good. Not anyone who is not on the fucking payroll by a sugar company or something like that. Especially with the peer review on these matters. Like, sugar is not healthy. I really do doubt that you can find legitimate sources for that. It's not. It's just overwhelming amount of evidence to point towards the negative aspects of it. In moderation, it can be alright if you're eating other healthy stuff, mind you. But there's really nothing to say that it on itself is good. You're talking about bread right now? Yeah, you can find some people saying that alcohol in moderation is good, but that's the thing, because there's a lot, these days there's a lot of studies around subjects, and these things pop up all the time. And that's why if you want to be listening to something and you want to actually try and know something, you have to look at the source material. You don't have to be a scientist in order to look at the source material in which they're deriving the conclusions on. And a lot of these these articles and these research projects have really terrible source material, and they usually never have any peer review. And when I say usually, that is generous, because a lot of them do not have any peer review. And that is probably one of the most fundamental problems that we'll have with these type of aspects, is that they'll just make they'll come up with an idea, they'll test around it, and then they will just conclude on whatever the test results are. And then that's that. Like, there's no one going in to test the ideas. There's no one to stand there to be critical of it. It's just someone coming up with a project, and then they have one conclusion, and then that's fine. You literally have thousands of these every day, which is a lot of pretentious shit and no real science. Like, literally everywhere. That's why I hate Facebook, because these type of things are just everywhere there. Add some music. Music would be good. Yeah, maybe. but I don't feel like music. Also, my throat is starting to hurt from all the talking. Bro. I thought I saw something green there for a second. I probably shouldn't put on music. I'll put on music when I'm farming, but since I am uploading for YouTube, I don't want my entire videos to be muted because of music, because that is a thing. There's actually a few people who watch me on YouTube, not many, mind you, but a few of them are, and I'd rather not that my content get wrecked because of music. Then I would have to find like only non-copyrighted music. You hate fake news. Latest fake news was that Spider-Man quit being Spider-Man. But like the whole aspect of fucking fake news has been a thing around for a lot of time. There's also been a lot of people who have just, you know, a lot of people who just taken education, gotten a PhD and that kind of stuff, and then they got hired by companies and they just say that they've done like an actual, they're pretending to be scientists, and then they're jumping to a conclusion that they're being paid to do. And this is again why peer review is important. If something doesn't have peer review, then I am immediately questioning it. Not because I necessarily know it to be wrong, but because I want to have other people who are knowledgeable about this subject to go in and question and do tests of their own. Otherwise, I kind of question the science behind it. Even if it's from people who have good reputation. Like there's a few examples where there's some people who, you know, have very, very good reputation. But then again, there's pretty much always going to be peers in those areas. And if you have a lot of people who are questioning, who are doing tests that come up with contradictions to a narrative that someone has been projecting, then this again is a reason not to believe said thing. Like, it's kind of problematic. Like, you can fucking spend forever researching matters in order to try to be as accurate as possible. But at the end of the day, one may also just be like, oh, fuck this shit. This is too much fucking research just to know about anything. But that is a thing that you may have to do if you want to have accuracy, if you want to actually understand things and have trustworthy opinions and sources. Get some fucking research out. And even then you might end up with something wrong. The truth, man, the truth is rough. Because you don't always know when you have it. Are you still talking about that Spider-Man thing? People lie? Yeah. That's new to me. I really wouldn't expect people to fucking lie. And feel hungry when you just ate. Yeah. That's a thing. That like, I'm not the most knowledgeable about this subject. I know some bits, but like sugar. How can I form an argument on that? I'm not sure. You wanna talk fat and watch this? No.
Not enough mana.
No more cringe compilations. You know how many fucking, and I hate the fact that these are getting fucking recommended to me. I don't want to get any fucking compilations. I don't know why that is sent to me. But then again, sometimes I get some weird recommendations on YouTube. I think the latest weird recommendation I got on YouTube was like an anime. It was like a harem style of anime. And it's really not the type of animes that I watch. But I have, you know, searched something around that at some point. And then YouTube just starts throwing shit at you. Especially if the fact you like just if you're searching for anime on YouTube And if you search for something specific, then you will just find all kind of crazy stuff. Not good stuff. Really weird. It's a comedian. Interesting. I have no idea. No idea. What time is it, by the way? Okay, when I can find time. Oh my god, the convection! The convection! Not good, go away. Hey, DM Assad, thank you for the follow. Ooh. Go away! Oh, that's not good. You go away now. You don't explode in my face. I'll not have that. Okay, good. Coal enhance beetle. So one thing is you have the fucking coal explosion with conviction now, but you also have the balls that are enhanced by the fucking coal enhance and conviction. That could have been grim. Good thing it didn't. Add me on Steam, listen to you. So you can send hentai recommendations even when you're streaming. I think I'm going to have to reject your friendship on Steam, Rascal. Because that's like one of the worst things, is just getting that ping when you're streaming. There's only a few people I actually have on Steam. Because I don't want people to contact me on Steam. Especially, I think you could possibly turn off that sound, mind you. But I don't know how, and I'm too lazy to do it. Oh wait, did you say I can sing? Oh, even when I'm not streaming. Well, I mean, you don't have to do that. You can always just send a recommendation on the stream, Kappa. I'm just trying to imagine the fucked up shit you might actually recommend to me. This is some fucked up shit, man. Hey Bobby, what you doing? How you doing? He's alive! Yeah, I'm alive. I'm always alive. I never die. That reminds me, Fabi, have you been thinking about what character you might be doing for our run? Like, as you may be able to imagine, I might be putting on some restrictions on us. I may tell you to, you know, no OP builds, possibly Titan, possibly a lot of things. Not really. Filling at DZ but all the time. Yeah. We're primarily going to be doing melee builds. Trashborn has been talking about he might be doing a necromancer, melee necromancer, so we'll be having some amplify. Senny, another guy who will be joining us, he might go for an Amazon melee, of course. We're not going to be, like, I'm putting a restriction on our mercenaries. we're only going to be going with rogues. No melee ones, because we don't want them to tank and soak up damage. I may allow us to get 50 points in Vitality. Maybe, I haven't agreed completely with myself yet. But just primarily melee builds. Everything pretty much goes in that category. I am thinking about going for Sorceress. A two-handed Sorceress with Enchantment. But it's not like our team is going to be weak. I think we're going to be pretty strong. Also, I might actually have a 5th guy joining us as well. But we'll see about that. No Arc 3 Mercenaries. Well, maybe I'll allow the Arc 3 Mercenaries, just not the cold ones. Because those would be too OP.
I can't kill.
Well, yeah. We can't have that crowd control. So we all have to use fire or lightning. Arc 3 Mercenaries. Terribleness. Maybe I should just put a ban on mercenaries entirely. Why am I laughing at the Arc 3 mercenaries? Because they are very, very powerful. Maybe maybe I should just do that. Maybe just in generally a ban on mercenaries or something. No, whip mercenaries. Dude, if we come with like 4 or 5 fucking mercenaries, like they would literally be able to clear the game. Like one mercenary can, in principle, fucking clear the game. Not very effectively, but if you grind him up, he'd be really strong.
Not enough.
I only Arc 1 would be okay. No Arc 2, they're pretty strong. They're pretty damn strong. Especially with all of the modifiers we'd be having. Enchantment, Amplify. Maybe someone goes to a Paladin. I could expect you to maybe go for a Paladin, Fabi. But I mean, you can go for whatever you want. Just because someone chooses one character doesn't mean that everyone else has to do it as well. There's going to be some surprises in the challenge run that I haven't put down it completely. Segolia is working on the mod. And it's going to still be pretty much vanilla, but there's going to be some stuff that are different, including the extra mob spawn. Finally, we found the freaking room. I don't know how long we've been into this place talking about drugs and sugar and stuff. Like my mercenary did it in Hell Unleashed. Yeah, he carried us, man. Like even your fucking OP paladin couldn't beat that. What was it? It was one of the waves at Bale. But in generally, some of those mobs were fucking broken.
There's nothing the right potion can't cure.
Such a messy mod. Modded, you were planning on player killing us? Can I be one-handed Funnel Sealer? I fucking knew you would suggest that. I knew you would do that. And I feel like I have to punish you if you do that. Because it's like, of all the melee builds out there, like the Fanet Salad is probably one of the most cookie cutter one. It's actually legitimately good. Wave 4 thing? I have no idea. It's so a long time since we played. I think...
I can't.
Oh, never get the staff. I think that if you're going to do a Fanet Solid, it's gonna be two-handed. I cannot allow you to just get OP with Holy Shield and all that crap. I cannot do it. Not again. Not like Hell Unleashed. I'll not have that again. Just you fucking carrying everyone and becoming super tanky. How dare you. Can you do one funny thing with... can you do one funny thing with Dreamers because they're just stupid to use so wait, what? But with the Delirium helmet? Yeah, what actually happens? I don't actually know. Yeah, if you put Delirium on your Arc 3 Mercenary, then you won't be able to use his spell, so he just goes in melee? That's weird. Then I go Frenzy Power, better, like our last cup. Yeah, sure. I'd be okay with that. Whether or not you're going to be allowed to use Battle Lord is something I haven't made my mind up on yet. It kind of depends on how difficult the mod is going to be. But maybe it'll be allowed. It'd be good for the teams though, yeah. Oreo Sure Sensei, thank you for the follow. Then the super little Batman and transform. That's interesting though. I forgot what is actually the chance of casting low resistance. What was it, the shield you were talking about? Medusa's shield. Oh yeah, that's a 10% chance. Oh, that's interesting. Never thought about that. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe Battle Order will be allowed. Maybe it won't. I think that if Battle Order is going to be allowed, we're probably gonna go like no Vitality. But then again, like the moment fucking Battle Order runs out, everyone is just in trouble. But that does sound good if we get a Barbarian in our team. Alright, let's go to Duriel and hopefully not struggle too much. I didn't bring any health pots. That's perhaps a mistake.
Blessings to you.
Blessings to you. How long will I continue playing today? I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit tired today, so probably not long. Maybe after Duel, maybe a little bit longer. Depends how I feel. This Arc 3. What Arc 3? What did he do, Rascal? Let me see that. What is that? What Arc 3? What did he do, Rascal? What? Stop it. Let me see that. Fuck. What is that? No, mute! I don't want to hear myself. That was the worst. That's not a fucking Arc 3 mercenary. That's Game of Thrones. Why are you throwing that in here? When did I start? I don't know. 3-4 hours ago? I've lost track of time. I was working today early in the morning, so... Yeah, I am tired. Our mercenary does have life leech and he's getting slowed down, so that's pretty good. Oh, I'm slowly running out. RIP! I hope this team's going good. That's pretty good. Hello to you, NoobTube Gaming. What do you mean by killing Diablo releases you? Did you watch the new League episode? What? What League episode? Are we talking about Game of Thrones? I don't know. Probably didn't. Oh, you mean killing Diablo releases me? You want me to go to fucking Arc 4 and kill Diablo? That would take me some hours. Progression is pretty slow, even with the strong... Yeah, they all die. That's the spoiler alert. Everyone dies. Yeah. Daenerys Targaryen gets killed by a spoon. She gets the spoon curse on her. But it takes 1 year for her to die. She does get the Iron Throne, but then she's killed slowly in a few years with a spoon. 2 to 3 hours? If I was speedrunning, maybe. Did my mercenary die? That's not good. Do you realize how many fucking mobs there are? I mean, actually probably wouldn't take too long. Maybe that'll take me 1.5 hours to 2 hours if I was quick. Skip most of the mobs.
Allow me to advise.
But like with the fucking potential of dolls and crap, I don't think I can do that quickly. Plus I don't care about rushing. Halo takes great pride in his censor-free streams, but spoilers is punishable by death. Yeah, how dare you? I'll spoon you to death. I'll find you and I'll slowly just smash you into oblivion with a spoon. That is the way. Such is the way. Anyone want to bet on some good drops on Duel? Out in the city, they call me the cereal guy. Nah, that's crappy. Cereal guy? Because it's a spoon? No. What can I go with that? How can I build a spoon image up? I'll give him a spoonful? Nah, crappy. That sucks. A sword ruin, yeah, that's what we're gonna get. Duriel gets bugged and he drops hell loots, and so we get a sword ruin. I actually don't even know if Duriel has a high enough level for that. That's kind of hilarious. Like you can find a sword rune in the pits. Yeah, you can find a sword rune in the pits, but you can't get it off some of the bosses actually. Fucking monsters are higher level than the actual act boss. I'm out of potion strip. Oh, you bet he drops 6 TP scrolls? That's also likely. Oh, okay. Mercenary died, so now it's time for my Valkyrie to shine. He dropped kinda crap. What killed the decoy?
I am
Seriously, what the
overburdened.
fuck killed the decoy? Ah, fucking Catelyn again. Go away. Well, there was only one potential for something good, and that was the rare ring. Smash all the maggots. If you kill all the maggots, special drops will appear. Rip Dewey, old age.
Greetings. I thank you for my freedom.
You have a YouTube? Yeah, I do. It's not very popular. I have like
Stay a while and listen.
82 subscribers, and maybe I get 20 views on some videos, sometimes more. Oh, look at that seal! Look at that seal! But still, it's mostly just a way to keep an archive. I do have that one video of finding a soot rune that has like, what is it up around now? Maybe 30 or 14,000 views. And people just fucking hate on it. Like, there's just so many fucking claims of it being fake. Ribbity. Yeah, 82 million subscribers. Yeah, that's. I just recently beat PewDiePie by a milestone. That's how popular my YouTube page is. GG. God damn it. Once I got to like up to Nightmare, my mercenary just fucking started dying. Asim didn't die once through his passage of normal Act 2 to Nightmare Act 2. And then Astral comes into place and just dies all the time. He needs to learn the prayer skill. Act 3, puke. I don't want to rush through Act 3. I'll die to a doll pack. I'll just run into a doll pack and just use the fucking ice arrow and pew pew, dead. I wanna just sit and talk to Almus.
Greetings. The Church of Light harbors the darkest shadow of all. Tread lightly.
Maybe alcohol. Maybe you'll share some insight. My hopes and dreams, yeah. They're dead.
Damn it!
I'm tired, man.
I hope you don't object to my badgering the witless.
Yep. Dude, I've met people online who actually didn't even like understand how a creep works, because they've always gone through the fucking traveling call. Like there was this guy who I once played with, who actually thought that Diablo clone was that he was the Dark Wanderer that was out here, because he didn't actually know the story at all. He just been rushed through everything. So he thought the Dark Wanderer here was the Diablo clone. Those times. Well, I'm going to cut the stream here short, unfortunately. I don't know who I should be hosting. Should I host Suffer? Probably. But I'm not sure I'm going to be streaming tomorrow, because I'm going to be working a little bit late. Maybe I can squeeze in a small one after work. Otherwise I'll be streaming on Friday for sure. And Saturday and Sunday. Yeah. But that's going to be it for today. Thank you all for watching. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye bye.